What's up YouTube? It's Argon here. Today the Xclusive Ace released a video where he talked about what requires more skill in Call of Duty, boots on the ground or jetpacking. What are my thoughts? Let's talk. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who the Xclusive Ace is, he's a pretty good sized YouTuber, pretty well known, and he does a lot of in-depth style videos, kind of like Drifter used to do, where he goes into weapon performance specs and that sort of thing, and he gets into the nitty-gritty on all the details about COD. So he's a real technical kind of channel. So today he released a video where he said he wanted to talk about the ongoing debate of what takes more skill, boots on the ground or jetpacking, and kind of talk about whether or not you were a better player if you were good at one type of COD or the other. What he basically said is you can't say that the boots on the ground player is any better than the jetpacker because they have more tactics than they do necessarily gun skill, like that. And you can't just say that one is better than the other. Anyway, that's his summary of what his video is about. He's confusing the situation a little bit. He's comparing skill to strategy, and skill and strategy are two totally different things. Skill is really tied to gun skill and reaction time, whereas strategy is tied to everything outside of gunfights. So skill is related to what it takes to win a gunfight, and strategy is what it takes to prepare for a gunfight. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about skills in Call of Duty. The first aspect of this is obviously gun skill. And gun skill has many parts. Partially, the number one component is obviously accuracy. And then, you've got your other kind of decision-making factors like when should you hip fire versus when should you ADS. Somebody with good gun skill is going to know when they should be hip firing and when they should go ahead and ADS, which is aim down sights. The other part of it is, are you the kind of person that drops shots? That's an advanced technique. Even if people don't like it, it's an advanced technique that you have to have some skill to be able to pull off. The next part of having good skills at Call of Duty is obviously your reaction time. If you see something, how fast do you react to it? If you see a player, you weren't expecting him there, did you get your gun up in time? And did you get your shot off? All that kind of thing. I'm gonna blow this up. Ah! That worked! That didn't work. That guy surprised me. Another aspect of skills would be your tactical abilities and evasive maneuvers. So, if you're getting shot at, do you duck and hide for cover right away? Do you, how do you approach a gunfight when somebody's shooting at you already? So those types of things. Also, like, do you think ahead in a gunfight as to what your possible movements are, what your moves could be that could help you succeed at that gunfight? But anyway, that kind of summarizes what it takes to have skills in Call of Duty. It's gun skill, it's reaction time, it's evasive maneuvers and tactical abilities, and just in general your ability to process multiple inputs at once. So the thing that we're comparing skill to is obviously strategy. Now strategy is everything that's not related to a gunfight. So it has to do with preparation for gunfights. So it has to do with map awareness. Map awareness leads to understanding spawns. Understanding spawns leads to spawn manipulation and spawn trapping and just being able to control a map, which is what you need to be able to win. The other part of understanding the map is just knowing how the map flows. So where are the choke points? Where are the high traffic areas? Where is a good spot for you to run through? Like, you don't want to run in the middle of a map so that you can get yourself picked off from 18 different angles, but you definitely want to know where to flank. You want to know where the enemy's flanking, that sort of thing. The other part of map flow is like nade spots and timing. So knowing where's the enemy going to be at, like when would be a good time if they spawn at A, like in this game. When are they going to be at C? When are they going to be at B? That way you don't rush yourself into a situation. Another part of strategy is obviously your class setups. You could set up specific classes for certain situations. Like if you're on a map and you're going to get spawn trapped, you can set up a class to prevent you popping up on a thermal scope, for you to be invisible inside of smoke grenades. So you can use smoke. So if you're getting spawn trap, you can set a double smoke class, and you can just keep throwing smokes and be able to push out of your spawn and hopefully break the spawn trap. So that's the strategy thing, and that makes you can be a good player and have that. So anyway, setting up your classes can also be an aspect of strategy, but it's not gun skill. So I hope I made my points kind of clear, but my main point is that strategy is not skill. They're two totally different things. Now, if you want to say who is more effective or more successful at Call of Duty, a player with strategy or skill, that is a more appropriate question. But just saying that, you know, somebody with, you know, playing boots on the ground is more skilled than somebody who plays with strategy, that's not a fair statement. So that's the keys that you need to remember, is that strategy is not skill. However, strategy and skill are both tools that you need to succeed at Call of Duty. And I think a lot of the frustration that people are experiencing with jetpack and Call of Duties is that, you know, in general, and this goes not just for video games, it's also sports, but good strategy will beat good skill most of the time. So I think a lot of people get frustrated because that's typically a good rule to follow, but in this case, in Call of Duty, it's not exactly the case, and that's what frustrates a lot of people. And Ace kind of finished his video with this. He does feel that boots on the ground favors newer players to the point where a newer player could be better at a boots on the ground COD playing with strategy. He could pick that game up faster than he could a jumping COD like this one, which I agree with. The skill gap between a novice player and an expert level player in a jetpack situation where you're reliant on gun skill a lot is a much bigger gap than the gap between somebody who's playing with strategy and a boots on the ground type COD, if that makes sense. So anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. Basically what it comes down to is skills and strategy are two separate things. They're both tools to help you win at Call of Duty, but they're not the same thing. So in response to Ace, what he's really answering is a different question entirely. He's answering what matters most, skill or strategy. So you have to have a good balance of both. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe. And until then, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace!